Hello, everybody. Welcome to this. This is Daily LK, obviously the daily news show here on ProWrestling.me. I'm your host, LK, obviously from ProWrestling.me. Today, here on this show, we're going to be talking about Ring of Honor New Japan's schedule. We got some Ring of Honor news. We got PWG Bowler news. We got SmackDown TV ratings. An Evolve star is leaving and becoming a full-time customer. We got Lucha Underground's Ultima Lucha Dose Night 3, 2-hour special TV viewership, and we also got some news on Heath Slater. So we got a stacked show, so no wasting time here. Let's get straight to it, because we've got a lot of programs coming for you tonight. We got this, then after this show, I'm going to be recording a solo Ring of Honor wrestling review for the TV program each week. And then after that, we're going to be me and Boom Booms and maybe Sammy, depending on obviously real life. We'll be going on live with a Ultima Lucha Dose Night 3 review. So lots of content for you guys to enjoy tonight. If you're listening to me live, leave a comment on any of these topics. If you're not listening live, thank you so much for watching still, and put in the comments below your opinion on each of these topics. Obviously, some of them don't need opinions on, but either way you comment, I appreciate. So let's start with Heath Slater. I'm going to work chronologically on the way it appears on my bar here. So we have Heath Slater has become a free agent in the W, obviously after the draft that took place on Tuesday night on the first live SmackDown. Not the first live SmackDown, but the first proper live SmackDown of this new brand extension era. They like throwing that around like there's no tomorrow. New era this, fucking suck my cock. It will be working Evolve shows, indie events, to further this free agent storyline moving forward. So obviously, this will mean he'll be booked for non-WWE events. That's crazy. I mean, the last time something like this was done was, sorry, my nose is a bit shitty. The last time this was done was probably, in my recollection, probably Punk in 2011 when he did that running away with the WWE Championship angle. Obviously, at Money in the Bank when he actually re-signed, but kayfabe-wise he didn't, and he left. That was pretty awesome, but this is pretty cool. You know, it's unprecedented. Obviously, it helps with, Heath Slater can go to NXT. Heath Slater can go to Evolve, because obviously the NXT and Evolve working relationship. And I see Evolve as the farmer system now, because NXT is such a big brand. I see Evolve as the developmental. Let's send people to Evolve. Get Evolve more pay-per-views. Maybe get them a weekly TV deal, maybe, and work your way from there. Get them a TV deal like Booker T has. Booker T has that Texas promotion called Reality of Wrestling. He's got a little TV deal going on there, and he just has a weekly program. It's also on their YouTube channel. I wish Evolve had something like that. Obviously, they're obviously in the business of still making money, and they do good numbers, I'm assuming and presuming, on the pay-per-views. Who knows, but he'll probably stick to what's working for him now in case this WWE relationship does go sour. So that makes sense. But Slater work in the indies, that's pretty cool, pretty revolutionary, so to speak. We have, dude, these Lucha Underground TV views, they go down. I don't know why. Like, the highest rated combined audience was 219,000. That was on June the 29th. But this week's edition was the original airing was 137,040. Last week's replay did 56,000. So they're down on the replay, but they're up on the original airings. The original airing, last week was only 108,000. In my opinion, that's due to Shinsuke Nakamura's Finn Balor's match on NXT. But I don't know. That's just not good numbers. Like, it's Ultima Lucha. The good thing is here, from the first night of Ultima Lucha Dose, they gained nearly 40,000 viewers, because the first night they did 143, second night 164, third night 180. So I see that as, okay, they progressed. And I don't want to talk too much about Ultima Lucha, because I don't want to take anything away from the review, but we always do win-loss tie here. I gave Ultima Lucha a win. Well, I will be giving Ultima Lucha a win, but it just, how the views have just dropped. And they have such a following. I don't know if it's now people, because NXT is kind of going for a decent period after NXT takeover, and people now are maybe getting into the weekly routine of sitting down and watching NXT on the network. And I may fall victim for this, but because you're paying for the network, do you feel like you have to watch NXT over Lucha Underground first because you're paying for it? Maybe that's how it works for some people. I for one, I can't watch Lucha Underground because I live in England, so I physically cannot watch Lucha Underground without being a pirate. I get on my ship and I sail. I don't have a choice in that. And I wish that they did have a TV deal, but these numbers, like, we mock TNA, but these numbers are pretty low. Like 180,000 for Rey Mysterio and Ricochet in a main event. Pentagon Jr. a 2-year build for a Lucha Underground championship match against Matanza. Like, dude, I was expecting mid 200s, for your WrestleMania. They've been building this like crazy, but what can you do? As they're back next year. Let's hope they can build upon this. At least it's not 10,000. We're at 180,000, nearly 200,000. It's not too shabby. It's just, I was expecting more. Because this was the big, like, week 1 and 2 were just like, meh, okay, I'm expecting low numbers because you got Nakamura and Baylor and then blah, 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 blah. And then the competition this week was a Bayley match and a Samoa Joe Rhino match, which everyone in their right minds thought Samoa Joe would win, and you'd be a moron if you thought Rhino would win. And one thing I want to touch on this, actually, while I bring up Rhino. I haven't got any of this up on my notes, but there has been talk of, bringing back old, well, I'm not say old, 2006 to 2010, maybe before that, actually, wrestlers. This is what we're talking about now, because of the draft. They're talking about Kurt Hawkins. Shelton Benjamin was a talk, which makes my friend really happy. He's a fucking huge Shelton Benjamin mark. There is one of them out there. Who else was it? It was Jesus Christ, Daniel Kane hadn't done his research. So there was Shelton Benjamin. There was Kurt Hawkins was one. Tajiri is another. There was another one on there that really didn't boggle my mind. And you know what? Fuck it. While I'm here live, let's have a fucking look. There was some, and dude, I like this, and I'm gonna explain to you how I think this could be really good. Because obviously the roster depth, there is. It's Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. Jesus Christ. Like, I understand Tajiri, the guy's over. I understand Benjamin, the guy was like, Rhino was the other guy they were talking about. So Rhino, Shelton Benjamin, Jinder Mahal. Like, I get that. Like, bring these guys back, like MVP, but don't bring people back like Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal was never over. Like, MVP was over. I'll classify Shelton Benjamin as over. Kurt Hawkins to an extent. Like, bring these guys back. Have them work a program with a specific talent, like what Rhino's doing now in NXT. He comes, he works a program where he gets a few wins, and then he loses. For instance, a couple of weeks ago, he came out, he attacked the Hype Bros, scum of the earth, and I can't remember the other jobbers. And then all of a sudden, he's involved in the program with Joe, and then Rhino puts Joe over. So Rhino doesn't look like an idiot, but he lost in the match with Joe, elevating Joe because, hey, he just beat Rhino. Rhino, one of the legends in pro wrestling. And if he brings Shelton Benjamin back, have Shelton Benjamin beat a few people, and then have Benjamin lose to someone. He can then, if he doesn't want a full-time contract, he can't be dealing with on the road because of other, contractual obligations with Pro Wrestling Noah or indie events. He can just go back to doing that and then come back anytime they need him. At the Rumble or Mania, or who knows if they might do a World's Greatest Tag Team versus American Alpha Dream match. Why don't we do that? Like, I think that could be a great way of creating stars, because I was really looking yesterday at the rosters after they were announced, and I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, fuck me, we really don't have stars. And, you look back in the eras of the Hogans and the Austins and the Rocks, and even the Cena's, Batista's, Orton's era, you say those wrestlers' era. Whose era is it now? Like, there's names, there's stars, you'd call it. Hogan era, you had Hogan, Savage, Ultimate Warrior. Then you had Attitude Era, Austin, Rock, Taker, Kane. Then the Ruthless Aggression Era, Cena, Batista, Orton, Angle, Benoit, Triple H. Who have we got now? Would you call it the Roman Reigns? Would you call it Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose? Maybe Brock Lesnar? But a push, even though he wrestles 4 times a year. Like, there is no guy. There is not a guy who is the company's man. Reigns, he fuck off. There's more chance the Pope wanking me off right here, right now on this channel than Roman Reigns being that guy now. He's had chance after chance after chance. He's just a cunt. Like, I'm not saying this is horrible. And I tested this, okay? My girlfriend doesn't really watch wrestling. She watches the pay-per-views with me because she enjoys the pay-per-views, but apart from that, but then again, to be fair, she watched Ricochet with Ospreay. So I said, watch this. She watched Lucha Underground a few weeks ago. She watched Final Deletion. She thought it was hilarious. So she's probably watched more alternative products than most, which is scary if you actually consider it. But she only watched, like, for instance, if she came around, like, for Lucha Underground, she said she was going to come around at, like, say 3 p.m. And she came around at 2. She came an hour earlier. So I was like, I kind of have to finish this for my stuff. She's like, yeah, cool, no problem. She just sat there and watched it. But the issue is when she first saw Roman Reigns, she thought, is he a nice guy? And I was like, sorry? It's like, he's the bad... Well, who's the bad guy? Because it was in the middle of the feud of AJ. Because that's the first time she really started watching it. And I was like, no, AJ's the bad guy. He's like, no. I was like, yeah. Like, oh, God. So even the women, the 18-year-old attractive women, Roman Reigns is attractive. You know? If 18-year-old women don't like him, 19-year-old guys don't like him. So we can now say that demographic don't like him. That's the demographic you want to get. It really is. I mean, especially when your audience, your mean audience that you have. Let's have a look right now. SmackDown, their mean audience type. Okay, demographics. 18 to 49. Okay, that is their audience. 18 to 49. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's pretty much their whole percent audience. So you want to get those people, and even though it's only the 18 to 19. They don't like him. And I'm giving you a small sample because obviously I'm trying to tell a story. But I don't know, there's something about this guy that just screams he's a cunt. I hate that word. I think it's a lack of respect for the business, for doing what he was doing while he's on top. It's a lack of respect to the guys in the locker room who's busting their ass every night because there's people out there really working hard to get his spot. But because he's Samoan, because he has muscles, because he has the tattoos, he gets over. He didn't get over. He got picked. There's a difference. There is a huge, huge difference. Drives me insane. Absolutely insane. Anyway, we'll talk about some New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor now. So we have upcoming lineups for Ring of Honor. August 19th, The Death Before Dishonor. It's a pay-per-view. We have a couple of matches announced. We have the Ring of Honor television title line. We have Bobby Fish defending against Mark Briscoe. Obviously, Mark Briscoe a few weeks ago now defeated ACH in a number contenders match on TV. Check out my review of that. We have the Never Openweight Championship Shibata versus Wrestling's Last Real Man, Silas Young. Dude, Young's always getting on these pay-per-views, isn't he? Fair play to him. Then we have August 27th, the first match of Field of Honor. If you don't understand what Field of Honor is, basically they wrestle in a baseball stadium. And check out my I did a review last year on Field of Honor. I think that could actually be one of my first reviews for this channel. So I think we're coming on to a year now. I've been on this channel. That's fucking crazy. Because I remember it was just, I used to send in reviews via email. And now to be able to go live and do the Raw review, fuck me, crazy. Jesus Christ. A lot can happen in a year. Jeez. And Shibata versus Kyle O'Reilly. Wow, what a match that's going to be. If you're in the Brooklyn area, I'd go to that. I'm guessing that's SummerSlam weekend. Yeah, it must be. It is. Okay, how about that? Unbelievable. This is Shibata's first tour in Ring of Honor. O'Reilly is a great opponent. I think that could be a really good match, real stiff, technical, really good match. And I'm going to be honest, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm not saying that just because I want to say it. I'm saying it because I think that could be a great match. And even though it won't be a live event, I know that they do it on their on-demand website. Definitely going to buy that. And I'm a fan of Ring of Honor. Like if you had that one company you had to pick as your favorite company, I'd probably pick Ring of Honor. Like, I like what they stand for. I like what they represent in the sport aspect of pro wrestling. And I see there's a few of you watching live. Do appreciate that. I'll get to live comments at the end. So we do have the cards for the final few days of the G1 Climax. I'll read you the final weekend from Friday to Sunday. So Friday, we have the A Block's final matches, as in Hiroki Goto versus Marufuji, Tanahashi versus Okada, Maccabi versus Ishii, Hiroshi Tenzon, who's had a great day one of the G1. Really magnificent match with Ishii, worth the fucking price of the New Japan World, which is just 9.99 yen. That's £7.45, I think, English money. And Fat Fale Triple H versus fellow Bullet Club member Tama Tonga. B block, you have the paedophile Yano. Sorry, I just think he looks like a paedophile. Versus Yoshihashi, not the kind of thing you should be saying on the international broadcasting ball. Well, Michael Elgin versus Nakajima, Yuji Nagata versus Honma, Naito versus Omega, and Shibata versus Evil. Then on the final night, you have obviously the Block A versus Block B for the G1 Climax Finals, where the winner obviously gets a IWGP World Championship match at the Wrestle Kingdom 11. The January the 4th show at the Superdome, but we also have a Ring of Honor World title match. We have Jay Lethal defending against Kojima. That could be interesting. Obviously, that's in my opinion to promote the Death Before Dishonor match. But Kojima, he gave up his spot. I haven't seen Kojima. Obviously, Kojima, like the night before, he's in a tag match with Tanahashi and Kushida against Lethal, Sonata, and Bushi. I haven't really seen much of him. He was ringside for the Tenzon match. So glad he gets a big match at this weekend. And then our WGP tag titles online. The Briscoes defending against Hangman Adam Page and Yujiro Takahashi. Good to see Adam Page make New Japan debut, I think. We also have Adam Cole in the Bullet Club. I'm surprised I haven't seen him in New Japan yet. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe a program with Michael Elgin over the IWGP IC title. I think that could be very interesting. So there you are. We'll move on to a sad topic here. Evolve star Johnny Gargano. It's not sad. He's pretty good for him, but not for Evolve. Obviously, as I've talked about many times, there's 3 tiers, people like to say, in these NXT contracts. Tier 1, it's like a handshake kind of deal. You come in, you do the work, and then you go. You're not really related to them. Tier 2 is you sign a contract with them like Samoa Joe had last year, and now Gargano, Ciampa, and Joe had, where you sign a contract, but you can still work indies, you can still work high pay-per-views, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, Ciampa announced today, last weekish, that he's finishing his indie run on September the 25th in Progress against Zack Sabre Jr. Well, Gargano's last match will be September 11th in Queens, New York for Evolve against Cody Rhodes. And he sent a tweet out. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a long one. Shall I read it? You know what? Fuck it, yes. Because not a lot of people might not have seen it. So this is what Johnny Gargano put. And I quote, "When I signed my first real wrestling contract, Gabe Sapolsky gave me advice that has resonated with me throughout my entire career. Being a wrestler is kind of like being a doctor. You can't just go in and start operating on people and be successful at it. You have to go to school, you have to hone your craft, and you have to learn. That's what the indies are for. Do everything you possibly can and learn from it, and when it's time to move on, you'll be ready. I've been an independent wrestler for almost 12 years. It's been a big part of who I am. It always will be. I've been extraordinarily lucky and take great pride in what I've accomplished throughout these years. Honestly, at the end of the day, it wasn't the t-shirt sales or the amount of money I made from a chubby little 8-year-old kid that just wanted to be a pro wrestler to now. The most important thing to me was you guys just thought I was pretty good. They say you never really know if you're actually ready for something, but I know that you'll always never really find out unless you try. That said, September 23rd in Cleveland, Ohio will be my last independent wrestling match. This chapter of my story may be closing, but the end is far from written. So for the next few months, let's just enjoy writing the last paragraphs of it together." What a nice way of putting it. Obviously, Johnny Gargano has been with Evolve since pretty much inception, really helping WN Live at a time where, I got into Evolve in 2014. I just remember some classics he had. When he was a Dragon Gate USA champion. Obviously, that company's now defunct. He's just coming off the bat of a program with TNA star Drew Galloway. And Evolve really is a good company to watch. But, dude, it's just so... Like, when I picture Evolve, I picture Gargano, and I struggle to think of a bad Evolve Gargano match, and it's upsetting to me, but, hey-ho, he's moving on. He will be a full-fledged NXT roster member, which is good. And obviously, I'm happy to see him succeed. We'll go PWG next. So we have PWG Bowler. Jesus, what a lineup, guys. What a fucking lineup. We have the updated Bowler 2016 tournament lineup. I waited a few days to just see until this Twitter account for PWG finally stops bombarding with awesome match after awesome match. So night 1, which takes place on September the 2nd. Zack Sabre. These are all... Well, there's not. First round matches, okay. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tommy End. Will Ospreay versus Phoenix. Chris Hero versus Jushin Liger. Matt Sydal versus John Morrison. That could be awesome. Ricochet versus Jeff Cobb. That's Matanza. Marty Scurll versus Pentagon Jr. That non-tournament match. Young Bucks and Adam Cole versus Dalton Castle and the Boys. Wow. Wow. What a lineup. Night 2. Fucking hell. Bowler first round. Cody Rhodes versus Sami Callihan. Matt Riddle go fuck yourself versus Kyle O'Reilly. Dalton Castle versus Jack Gallagher. Mark Andrews versus Pete Dunne. Komatachi versus Trevor Lee. Cedric Alexander replacing Adam Cole versus Mark Haskins. Non-tournament match. Will Ospreay, Ricochet and Matt Sydal versus Young Bucks and Adam Cole in a 6-man tag. Chris Hero, Tommy End versus Phoenix and Pentagon. And then night 3, you have the quarterfinals, semis, and finals, as well as the annual multi-man crazy tag match. What a lineup. Just night 1 sounds like it's going to be off the chart. So SmackDown, the live SmackDown. Drew 2.20, setting a high mark for SmackDown. Unbelievable. They actually beat Raw in viewership. Unbelievable, because the SmackDown drew 3.190 million views. Raw drew 3.133 million views, even though SmackDown did lose in the actual TV rating itself, because it just basically means more people watching TV on Monday than Tuesday. I think it was the other way. It's the other way around, actually. So Raw 2.22, SmackDown 2.20, starting next week, because in my opinion, it was gonna be a bump because of the draft and it was promoted like fucking crazy. But personally, a 2.22, this is our pure hardcore audience. 3.1 million. 3 million to 3.2 million is your hardcore wrestling fan base. I'll be shocked if Raw goes below that. Obviously, it will tilt to maybe 2.8. I reckon 2.8 to 3.2 is actually the pure hardcore fan base that will watch anything you put out, as long as it's 2 men, 4 men, 6 men, 5, 3 in a ring wrestling. They'll watch. And they're good for them. They have their core audience. Every company needs that. So good news for SmackDown. But in the end of the day, what will it mean if we go... What happens if we go from this and then next week it hits back to where it was? And I'm not saying it isn't going to be next week per se. What happens if in a month's time it goes back to the rating it was? Do we just say, fuck it, let's just drop this draft? You know, I hope they stick with this and endure the course of this draft. And I'm looking forward to where they go. I'm going to see if we have any live comments. Be interesting if we do. Hopefully we do. It'd be embarrassing if we don't now, won't it? We have 1 like. Thank you very much. We do. What trades would make between SmackDown and Raw? Lennox Widdowson. That's a great question. You know, I'm literally going to write that down. And tomorrow, if there's no news, which, to be fair, this news is pretty lackluster. If there isn't much news, I'm actually going to use that as the actual show instead of the news. I think that's a great question. Trades for Raw and SmackDown. It's a great job there. That's a great question, Max. It's always count on you for a great comment. Thank you for keep on watching and supporting this channel. Good man. What else has he said? What letter grade would you give the W's brands for the draft? Dude, I'm confused. I don't get why there's 6 women on Raw, 6 women on SmackDown. I think it might be 5. But the women's belt's on Raw. But they haven't actually stated yet if one's going... does the women's champion float? Like, same as tag teams. I thought they were going to do women exclusively to Raw, SmackDown exclusively to tag teams. I was expecting that. This is a clusterfuck. But I mean, me personally, I like AJ idea. I like Ambrose. I like Orton. I like Big Match John being there. I think, you know, Apollo Crews could do good. Could really benefit from this brand split. You know, I don't know. It's crazy. Koco. Oh, I miss you so much. It hurts. Hope to be back soon. Keep being awesome. We miss you, Koco. And shit, I haven't put your book in the description. Oh shit. Yeah, if you guys, if you're interested in buying Koco's book, there will be a link in the description below. If I quickly get it up on my mobile device, it's called Operation Freak Show. It's a book written by Dave Koco. Obviously, this is his channel. I'll give you a quick description of what this book entails. So, a debut novel dealing with the controversial issue of child sexual abuse and whether justice is ever justified. In this crime novel, you'll meet such memorable characters as Ringo, Freakshow, Fish, and Anna, along with the police officer Mike Bowe. Operation Freakshow is an action-packed thriller that grabs you from page one and doesn't let go till its surprising ending. People like David Tees, Jeff Yeager have also given recommendations of buying the book. So head over to Amazon.com, type over Operation Freak Show. You'll be able to buy this, and it's at a stupid price, guys. $6.09 for this book in America. Yeah, so let's get this pre-ordering some bitch. Let's get this pre-ordering up, and think about this. Think about this, guys. You guys want Koco back. Think about the more books you sell. Just think about it. If we make Koco a millionaire from buying books, he'll be able to quit his job, become a full-time author, which means he'll be spending all day in his office, which means he'll be able to podcast every day. Think about that. So when you're there and you're thinking, you know what should I get my 18-year-old son for his birthday? But he's a bit of a wrestling fan, but he's a bit of a not. There you go. Or if you've got a girlfriend and she's being real horrible to you, Rey Mysterio, this goes out to you. If you're looking for a girl, go, fancy reading this book? Scare her, make her weak, and then you can use her. Jesus Christ. Yeah, make sure you buy that book. I'll be pre-ordering it when I get paid. Boom Booms. Hi, this is Boom Boom. First time caller, long time listener. First, how was your hangover? Dude, I wasn't hungover. But what happened was SmackDown. I plan on doing the review live after, like we did on Raw. Me and Raston Ranted did a Raw review. Check that out. I was planning on doing the draft live after, but when it came to the day, it was like 1 a.m. the SmackDown show started. And I got a text from one of my friends who just lives down the road. He's like, what's going on? What are you doing for the draft? About an hour before, I'm like, I'm not doing anything. He's like, yeah, well, me and blah, blah, blah are at mine. What do you want to do? Do you want to do anything? I was like, come around and watch the fucking draft if you want. Yeah, sure. Do you want drinks? Sure. So we got some drinks and away we went. I didn't get drunk, but I was at the point where I was happy and laughing, and it would not have been acceptable for me to do a show. Second, how's the G1 tournament shaping up thus far, and what changes would you make to help Ring of Honor? Great questions again, Boom. I'm looking forward to our Ultima Lucha Dose review. I really am, Booms. Missed an NXT review because I got fucked at work and I had to get up early. Awful. I hated that. Like, the new job implies that this is my schedule. I go to bed at 5, 4, 6 a.m. and I wake up at 2 p.m., go to work at 4 to 11 and blah, 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 etc. And I was just getting in the groove of it. And then all of a sudden I had to get up early. Boyfriend duties. Oh, I had to get up early. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I had to get up at 10, which meant I had to go to sleep early the night before. It was cruel. It hurt me. It hurt me there. But yeah, G1 Climax at the moment, we've actually only seen one day of Block A. Tenzon having a absolutely magnificent match. And I mean magnificent match with Ishii. The best Tenzon match I've ever seen. Great story, magnificent. Tanahashi losing to Sonata. Clean submission was awesome. Main event Okada losing to Pro Wrestling Noah's Marufuji was shocking but awesome. Like, great night of pro wrestling. And you can check out my review. I did a review of the first night of G1. Looking forward to tomorrow's day of G1. How would I improve Ring of Honor? Honestly, I don't know. I like what they do. And I don't think Ring of Honor is ever going to be mainstream. I think it's going to do what it's doing now. Make money, have this niche audience that pays money to watch them. As long as your audience is paying, as long as you're making money, who gives a fuck? As far as I'm concerned, if you're making money doing what they do, and you have full-time wrestlers, and you have a full-time announce team, and you have a nice setup, a nice production value, you're making money from TV viewership, I think you're a success. And I think Ring of Honor has been successful. I think, the way how they distribute their channels of on a Saturday night being obviously the syndicated channel, and then Monday on the Fight TV app, and then on Wednesday on Comet, that's individual income, plus these pay-per-views they're doing now on a more regular occurrence. Also, the iPay-per-views, the on-demand service. I think good things are. I actually think they're doing pretty well financially. I don't like how they feel dated, but you can't really do much about that. And speaking of that, because obviously Booms isn't with me, maybe for another hour, 2 hours. Yeah, I watched Ring of Honor yesterday and I took my notes, so maybe I'll do a Ring of Honor review. How about that? That's it for the news. We'll go to live if there's any more live comments. Who knows? It is a wacky Thursday night in the UK. There is one more, I think it might be. Oh, Jesus Christ. Atlantic Whitson. What company has the best tag team champions? So, Ring of Honor, we have the Addiction. So Ring of Honor, even though they have the best tag division in the world, does not. New Japan, Briscoes, meh. WWE New Day. TNA's the Decade, if I'm right. I'll go with Decade. How about that? I'll go TNA's Decade. I love their group. I mean, I like Steve's work. I think he's a great heel. Biz, meh. But, they'd get the job done and they're great characters. Maybe New Day, but I don't know. They're going to be stale. I want them off the tag belts. Like, they've had them for so long now. It's really frustrating. Like, fuck me. Like, what's going on? So, if you're the tag champs, you could perform on Raw and SmackDown. Like, I don't get it. They didn't clarify this. I hope they clarify it Monday or Sunday or even fucking now. Work show or something. But fuck me sideways. It's unbelievable how they haven't cleared that up yet. Absolutely undamn-believable. Unbelievable. We have one more comment. Just let me load it back up. This is from Adrian Carminetti. Predict the New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 11. 3 main events. Okay, 3 main events. So I'm assuming that's a dream match. Well, how about this? We'll play this a bit fun. So we'll have a dream match. We'll have a main event. And we'll have an IC title match. Okay, so dream scenario here. Okay, dream scenario. Main event, IWGP World Championship. Okada versus Naito, Grand Stage. IC title, IC title, Michael Elgin, the challenger, champion Tanahashi, that student teacher, have Michael Elgin go over, and then have Tanahashi give him the belt, raise his hand. He's the man. Like that, I think that could be good. Dream match scenario. So let's just think of people you haven't used. I want Adam Cole to have his moment. How about we have Adam Cole for the Bullet Club? Use a babyface I haven't used. Maybe Goto. I think that could be decent. But just think of the New Japan roster right now. You got Okada, you've got Naito, you've got Tanahashi, Ishii, but I don't think Ishii, Adam Cole could be that great because they're so different. Maybe Adam Cole versus a babyface Omega or one or the other, or maybe Adam Cole Lethal for the Ring of Honor title. How about that? Have Lethal be the champion, then you can have Ring of Honor versus Bullet Club. And also, that's the main event for the Ring of Honor title. Better than last year's Elgin Lethal. That sucked dick. That was awful. Forgettable. Shit. Can't believe I actually remembered it. Anyway, that's going to do it for Daily LK on July the 21st. Thanks for joining me here live. Thank you for listening to this after it goes off the air. I'll be going live in about 20 minutes time with a Ring of Honor review. And then after that, with a Ultima Lucha Dose review with one Mr. Boom Booms. Make sure you check out Koco's book in the link in the description box below. Operation Freak Show, which is a mix of professional wrestling and a mix of everything, really. If you're into books, ebooks, give this a buy. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, because it is a absolutely atrocious world out there, and I'm disappointed sometimes to call myself a human being. We have people running each other over. We have people cutting each other's throats. We have stabbings. We have bombings. Sort your shit out. Please, why can't everyone sit back, relax, have a cold alcoholic beverage or a cold... I've got juice, a bit of Ribena. Ooh. Sit back, relax, and enjoy pro wrestling. Wish more people did. So like, comment, subscribe, stay safe, stay well. From your boy LK, I'll be damn sure catching your asses down the line.